Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman, and we're in our downtown Lansing studios. And on the other end of our line is the governor of the great state of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer. And Governor, it's good of you to take a little time. I know you've been busy. I've seen you on every newscast everywhere, so you're out there doing things.
Well, I'm always glad to be with you, Chris, and the Business Network. It's a great thing that you do, and it's important for our economy and our state that we stay connected. So glad to be with you.
Well, we like to be part of the solution, and that puts us right squarely on your team, as a matter of fact. And let's start with the damn roads. I mean, how are we doing? It was a great campaign, and you're working hard to get them done. And, you know, as is kind of typical, every place you go in the state of Michigan, you're running into road work. That's a good sign.
Right. Well, you know, we're hard at work. MDOT is an incredibly important department, and they've been doing as much as they can with the little resources they have in comparison to what the need is. And that's why the budget that I wrote and introduced back in March is really focused on fixing the roads, but also closing the skills gap and improving our educational outcomes for kids and cleaning up drinking water, all of which are foundational. And, you know, the legislature has been on a summer break. Unfortunately, this is the first year in 9 years. The budget's not done before the legislature took their break, but as soon as they get back in August, we've got a lot of work to do to get that budget done so we can continue to fix the damn roads.
Well, and I was going to say in the budget is accommodation for exactly that, getting busy on the roads. Just a little reflection now. So you've had a pretty good taste of this governorship thing. How do you feel about it?
Well, it's been a fast 6 months. And,
yeah.
You know, my family has made the adjustment really well. My kids are doing well. They're entering their senior and junior year of high school. My husband continues to practice dentistry, and I think this first 6 months we've really set a great tone in Lansing. We've accomplished some things like bringing down the cost of auto insurance. I've made a number of announcements in terms of businesses that are thriving in Michigan and continuing to invest, like the FCA deal, which is 6,500 really good paying jobs, and an assembly plant that's being built in Michigan. And, you know, we've done some phenomenal work together across the aisle, and I think that we've set a good tone. But there's always so much more to do, and I think that's the exciting and tough part about this job.
Well, the startups for small businesses are on an even keel. We could probably use a few more of them, but the success rate is a little higher, which is what you want because those businesses get bigger and they need people to grow. So tell me, as far as business in that circumstance, delve a little bit for me and where you see the challenges and what needs to be done.
Well, there's no question when I'm talking to employers, whether it's small business or larger or it's in state government, you know, we've got a skills gap in Michigan, and that's one of the things that we're working so hard to close. I think that the state that once boasted the best skilled workforce in the world now has a real situation where we've got to prioritize ensuring everyone has a path to the skills they need to get into a good paying job. And it doesn't mean everyone needs to get a 4-year degree. It doesn't mean everyone should be in the trades or everyone should have a 2-year degree in a lot of the professional trades that are out there. There's a different path for everyone. But everyone in our state deserves a path that gets them to a good paying job. And that's what employers are looking for, is a skilled workforce. And so as we confront, you know, closing that gap, we are, I think, well positioned in the budget that I introduced to close that gap, to take us from 45% of our adults with a post-secondary degree or certificate to 60%, which is the goal that I set during the State of the State. We have to be aggressive, and it's absolutely doable, but it's not going to happen overnight, and we've got to be laser focused on closing that skills gap.
You know, I was going to ask you at the top of this if your husband, Mark, is getting a lot of feedback from his customers. They used to come in and get a filling or something, and I imagine more of them are coming in with issues.
Well, you know, when you're a dentist, your clients can't talk that much. You're getting work done.
Make you think you'd like to be a dentist some days? Is that what?
You know, he's got a great small business right downtown Lansing, and has been there. And, you know, I have a regular, you know, advocate in my ear daily on behalf of small business. And I think, you know, that's where so much of the growth in our economy has been. It's where we will continue to grow, and it's something that I'm always mindful of as we debate policies and budget priorities in Lansing. how do we make this a great place for small business to thrive?
Yeah. So is the president and his policies and really demeanor as much as anything causing you any havoc? Because I'm seeing ramifications with everything that I do in China.
Yeah. Well, certainly, as I am speaking with whether it's people in the automotive sector and mobility, or it is businesses like craft brewing, tariffs and trade policy that are produced via tweet and throw chaos into what should be a predictable, business scene is disruptive. And I am hearing regularly from business interests, but also universities who have been thriving with a great, robust international student program. All of these things are suffering because of the rhetoric and the policies that continue to change out of Washington, D.C. And so, yeah, we are confronting some of that. We're doing our best to give assurances to Michigan businesses that we are working to try to ameliorate some of the stress that they've been confronting. But this is something that certainly we are confronting as a state as well.
Of course, big challenges ahead. Are you feeling a little more, because you are one of those governors that came in probably with the best reputation of working across the aisle. Are you feeling that can be done, that can continue? Because I hate this divisiveness by party.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's really important to me that we all remember we're Michiganders first. And, I'm a Democrat. I've got a Republican-controlled legislature, and I've said from day one, divided government does not have to look like Washington, D.C. It can be an incredibly productive, time if we make it so. And I'm grateful that the Republican leaders in the legislature have worked well with me on auto insurance reform. I think that we've done some good things together around criminal justice reform, and we've got a number of things that are in the future that we are going to continue to work on. Getting this budget done, though, is the most important thing that we have in front of us. And every day that goes by that it's not completed is something that sends a signal that we haven't gotten the real work done yet. So we're going to stay at the table. We're going to continue to build bridges, literally and figuratively. And we've got to do it together. And I think that's where there's some opportunity in our state right now.
Well, we're looking for great things from you. And remember, we're on your team, so let us know what we can do to help. The governor of the great state of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer, thanks for being with us.
Always good to be with you, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you. You're listening to the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. This is Chris Holman. We're going to be right back with a whole lot more.